The following program was produced by an independent community producer. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the ECAT staff or board of directors.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. It's the Ron Van Dam Show.
Hold on tight, things can get a bit weird, if you like that sort of thing.
Hey, welcome to the program. How are you? It is the Ron Van Dam Show. That's the name that they gave me at birth. Well, the last part was already, someone else had it, but the first name they made up. I don't know what I'm named after. There was no one in my family named Ron. I don't think my parents liked anybody named Ron. I don't know where they got that from. Very, very odd. Very odd. Do you ever wonder why they named you the name that you have? In most cases, it's in spite. They just want to see how you do with it. Some people name their kids after initials, like PJ or DJ or MK. Kind of odd. It's like your name shouldn't be written; it should be stenciled. It's kind of different. Let me explain something to you. When I was a younger adult, I did stand-up comedy, and then when I got older, I realized I want to do sit-down comedy, but they don't have that. So I stopped doing stand-up. I only did stand-up comedy for about 2 years, 2.5 years, something like that. It was a remarkably stupid thing to do. I did clubs in the area, a little bit in New York, but mostly up here in places don't even exist anymore. And I would do like a 20-minute stand-up act routine thing. And it was, it's funny with stand-up when you're doing it in front of the mirror, it's hilarious. When you're in front of other people, not so much. It's kind of weird. But I liked it, but I didn't like it. It was creative. I was always writing all the time. Everything I saw was the humorous side. It was kind of fun. But to actually do it, it's a very, very weird feeling that you are the product and you're standing in front of people who don't know you and who are going to judge you on every single word that you say and how you say it. And it's a little bit intimidating, but I did it anyway. And then I did radio and the little TV thing. So they always said if you're nervous, picture your audience naked and you won't be nervous anymore. I pictured my audience naked. It made me feel worse. I would not want to do things in front of these naked people. So that didn't work out. Anyway, that's it. I don't know why I told you. Oh, because I opened up with some stupid humor and it just went nowhere. And you don't have to be here for me to know that. I am a resident of the area. I am. Every once in a while, I'll go to a restaurant called Town Spa. First time I went in there, I walked in and I said, I'd like a 60-minute massage, please. And they said, what? No, we do pizza and we serve like American bar food and. Yeah, that's really what we are. I said, well, why do you name yourself Town Spa if you don't do massages? And where's the hot tub? Apparently, the word spa doesn't necessarily mean that. It's a place where people gather to relax. Okay. Then I read a little bit of history about the Town Spa and how this family, a long time ago, wanted to find a gathering place where people could go. And I guess, I don't know why they named it Town Spa, but it seems to make sense in the thesis of them starting this restaurant. And that's pretty much it. It's a nice place. I don't mind it. I don't know why I'm talking about it. It's because the name is weird. I don't know. They have pizza, but it's a spa. I don't understand. If you go to a place to get a massage like Massage Envy, strange name for a business, isn't it? Yeah, I want a massage. Ooh, he's getting massage. I'm envious. Good name for the place? No. I went to Massage Envy for a while because I had a gift certificate, and they gave some nice massages, so to speak. So I actually did a membership for a period of time. And then after a while, I wasn't looking forward to the massages. To me, it was just something that I had to do because it was time for me to get my massage. So it was, and then I realized now I'm paying money to have to do something. Now that's not going to work out for me. But it was a nice place, very, very nice. I thought that was pretty cool. So I got a massage there. But, it's Massage Envy. It's not like you walk in and you say, okay, I'd like a pizza. They say, no, we're a massage place. Well, tell that to Town Spa. Okay. Anyway, hi, how are you? Thank you for being here. I do radio every weekday. I do a radio show, and I've been doing it for 30 years. Used to be on the broadcast radio, still am on some syndicated stations, but basically, it's that internet radio, iHeartRadio thing that I'm with, and the Amazon Music and all that kind of crap. SoundCloud, Stitch Face, I don't know what they're called. I don't care. I really don't care. I'm not from that generation. I don't know what the hell's going on. Anyway, so I do that. And once a week I come into this building and I just talk like I do pretty much on the radio show. And I talk about things that make no sense. It's an endless stream of possibilities. I never run out of material because nothing makes any sense. And if you talk about anything, you'll find something within it that makes no sense. This show makes no sense. I'm not teaching you how to knit. I don't know what macrame is, nor can I spell it, nor want to. I'm not a real estate agent. Whoa, really? You're the only one. I know. Everybody I know is a real estate agent. Some full-time, some part-time. The part-time, full-time, they're doing okay, even though the housing market is horrible. Yeah, I don't do that. I'm not on the school committee. What? How did you pass that up? Didn't they ask you? No, they didn't. No, they didn't ask me. And if they did, I wouldn't know what to do. Ron, what do you think about the school? I have no opinion. I really don't know. Nice school. Nice. Got one question for you. Why didn't you build a swimming pool in the high school? I don't think there's a swimming pool in the high school. I haven't been to the high school other than to watch the high school productions or to vote. So I must say I don't know much about what I'm talking about, but I don't think they have a pool. I don't know. I don't know. I'll tell you one thing that schools should not allow, any school district, they should not allow children to bring their cell phones into the classroom. I think that is so awful. If they're going to play with their cell phones, then why even go to school? And it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Well, they have to have their phones in case they have to call their mother. Oh, helicopter. Helicopter. Here's some news for you, and I do this infinitum. When I went to school, when I was a kid, back in 1620, there were no cell phones. Really? How's that possible? There weren't. I went to school. I learned some stuff. Didn't retain most of it, but I learned it. I remembered it till I was like 25. That was about it. They taught me no life skills whatsoever, but I knew what Columbus did, supposedly. Other than that, really, I can do math in my head. Yeah, I have the ability to take numbers and multiply them, divide them, do percentages, all up here. They taught me that in school. Guess you don't need that anymore because you got the cell phone with the little calculator device in it. You don't have to figure anything out for yourself. Even when I go to a restaurant, it's kind of fun. You get the bill and, let's see, how much should I tip them? Let's see, that would 10% would be in, then you double that for 20% and that. Now they print it right on the bill on the restaurant bill. They say if you want to tip 10%, it'll be this much. You want to tip 15%, this much. 20%, it'll be this much. Life is too easy. It really is. We're not going to be using our brains at all anymore. I don't know which generation is going to be affected by this. Could be the next one, could be this one. But they are not going to be able to have to think at all. And man, you're going to find that to be a big problem. Big problem. But far be it for me to judge. Anyway, I don't know what the hell is I talking about here. Oh, school. Yeah, I'm not on the school committee. So I do this show, and that's about it. I know it yields you nothing whatsoever. You're not gonna. I don't arrange flowers. I know. Ron, you're doing a cable show and you don't arrange flowers? I'm afraid I don't. I don't really see the point. To me, you buy the flowers and you stick them in a vase or a vase, depending on where you come from, and put some water in there and put that little food, that plant food thing in there. Don't forget that. That, if you don't have that, then you can use Splenda. Whatever comes in a small packet usually works. But I don't do that either. I don't. I'm not an attorney. I'm not here to give you legal advice. I don't know what it is. I know some legal stuff, but I wouldn't pass that on to you, because it could be wrong. And then I've hurt you in some manner. So I'm not doing that either. No, I'm just going to talk incessantly about the stuff that doesn't make any sense. So let's get started. I had a guest on my show yesterday who was an expert. She, very, very nice lady, very energetic, and she was touting the wonderful world of fish oil and omega-3s. And I had her on the show because, maybe there's something to it. There probably isn't. And I always say when I do an interview like that, it seems like they're trying to sell you fish oil and omega-3. So I always say, that's up to you. I don't condone it. I don't recommend it. Whatever. Just whatever. You make up your own mind. I'm the opposite of a 24-hour news station where they give you some news and then they tell you how you should think about it, how you should feel about it. I don't do that. So I'm talking to this lovely lady about fish oil and omega-3. And there was a lot of stuff that I wanted to ask her, but I didn't because I didn't want to embarrass her. But my question would have been, okay, you talk about omega-3s all the time. What happened to omega-1 and 2? Did they not work out too well? Were they not great omegas? Hey, here's omega-1. Okay, fine. Let's improve. Let's make it omega-2. That's still not happening for me. Omega-3. Okay, that's good. I don't want to do too many omegas here because then it gets silly. If you're on omega-27, something went wrong. So anyway, so omega-3, and apparently that appears in fish. And fish oil. Krill oil. Krill is a small little shrimp-like fish. So tiny that I can go like this and still demonstrate with my hands. But apparently it's good for you. Fish in general, salmon is very good for you. Well, salmon's a funny thing. Either you like it or you don't. I know so many people that just don't eat fish because they just really don't like it. Do you know why they don't like fish? They weren't brought up with fish. You have to have fish at home when you're a child for you to accept fish. Now, some people develop the fish like later on. Some people look like a fish later on in life. My parents, my mother couldn't cook, and so there was no fish. We didn't have fish at all. No fish. No fish. I was brought up in Teaneck, New Jersey. The closest body of water was the Hackensack River, and not only would you not swim in it, if you looked at it, you would get sick. So no. Nobody knew in New Jersey what color water was supposed to be. It's supposed to be clear or bluish, perhaps, if it's a larger body of water. Nobody in New Jersey knew this. Anyway, so that's what happened. So I would, so that's it. So I eat a lot of fish. But so this this nutrition expert is saying that omega-3 fish oil, very, very good for you. And then I'm thinking, well, there are a lot of fish in the sea, and I don't know how long they actually live. Perhaps not all that long. And I'll tell you why. When I was younger, I wanted a pet. And my father was against having pets because he knew that eventually he'd be the one that would have to take care of the pet. And he was right. But he figured, okay, let's get Ron some goldfish. So he came home one day with a goldfish bowl and a couple of plastic bags. And in the 2 plastic bags were goldfish. One fish in one bag, one in the other. I don't know why they didn't have them both in the same bag. Maybe they'll eat each other. I have no idea. Maybe fish like fish. Maybe it's tasty to them. I don't know. So he gets this bowl and he pours water in it, and he also has this plastic palm tree. This is the stupidest thing I ever saw. It's about this big, and he sticks it on the bottom of the fish bowl, and it's like, and then he releases the 2 goldfish into the bowl, and it's like the fish are supposed to go, ooh, we must be in the Bahamas. We're in the Caribbean, yet we're in New Jersey. It's kind of odd. But look at the palm tree. This is so I want a pina colada. I don't think fish care about a plastic tree. And I've been in the ocean a couple of times, and I've seen many movies, and in the ocean, I don't see a lot of palm trees. I'm not seeing a lot of palm trees. Nope, not even in the in the freshwater lakes. I'm not seeing a lot of palm trees. In actually submerged in the water. So the 2 fish are in there, and I am excited. I'm probably like 6, 7 years old, and I am excited off my butt. I have 2 fish, and I named the fish Lucky 1 and Lucky 2. You couldn't distinguish between the 2 goldfish, but I made believe that I could. Didn't matter because they both were fish. Not much of a personality. It's not like one fish enjoyed tennis and kayaking. The fish just don't do anything. They swim around. But I was enthralled. I sat in a chair for hours and I just watched these fish swim around the plastic palm tree. It was a delight. It was a delight. And then I went to bed, and I said, "Good night, fish. Good night, fish." They did not respond. Woke up the next morning, went to the fish bowl, sat in front of the fish bowl, ready to watch my fish bowl fish do their thing, and I find the 2 fish lying on the bottom of the bowl. My immediate reaction was, well, I guess they're still sleeping. I don't know. I was happy that one of them didn't impale themselves on the plastic palm tree. And then I realized, even at that age, these fish are dead. And I yelled for my father. He was still there. He hadn't gone to work yet. And he said, "Oh, my God." He said, "What happened to Lucky 1 and Lucky 2? I said, they're sleeping or they're dead. He said, "No, they've passed." So I'm thinking, like, what is the official lifespan of a goldfish in a bowl? I guess it depends, but they were made of fish oil, and yet that didn't help them. Maybe instead of omega-3, they should have gone for omega-6. I don't know how that works. I was heartbroken, and my father could see that. So the next time around, he comes home with this plastic tray and a couple of more plastic palm trees and 2 turtles and a partridge in a pear tree. So this time, so it's the little turtles, and they're in like not a bowl, they're in like a very shallow tank, and they can't get out because they're tiny, tiny little turtles. And I named them Lucky 1 and Lucky 2 in honor of my 2 dead fish, my previously dead fish. And I did the same thing. I pulled up a chair and I sat in front of this little, tank thing, and I watched those turtles, a little water in it, and a couple of rocks, and that damn plastic palm tree. That did come in handy. And I would just watch these turtles walk around, One of them looked a little bit different because it had a different shell marking, so I could really tell them apart, and everybody could, and that was fun. And those turtles, I went to bed that night, woke up the next morning, those turtles were still alive. I had turtle food. I don't remember what the food was. I think it was like turtle food. Well, it was a little canister. It said turtle food on it. I don't know what was in it. Probably krill oil. And these turtles were having a great time. A week later, they were dead too. Oh my God. Is it me? Was my father right? I can't take care of living things. I should never have children. He didn't say that to me. That was what I assumed at that point. Years later, I wanted a dog. Some of the neighbors had dogs, and I wanted one too. And my father said, no, it has been proven you cannot. I don't know if you didn't feed the turtle. I don't know what happened there, but I don't know if it was environmental or what. But no, I'm not taking care of the dog. I said, Dad, I will walk the dog every day. I will change its diapers. Ron, they don't have diapers. Okay, I will change whatever they have. I will take them for a walk. I'll clean the puppy pad, and if there's pee on the floor, I'll clean the pee. I'll feed the dog, and I will love the dog, Dad. So my father said, all right. And on a Saturday, he said he was going to go to the kennel and bring a dog home. I don't know where the kennel was, but he had to drive to it. And I saw the car pull up into the driveway, and he comes out with this adorable little baby. It wasn't a baby, it was a puppy. Springer Spaniel it was. And he brings in the Springer Spaniel to the house, and that Springer Spaniel licked my face. And I said, oh my God, he's looking at my face. And it was a he, I think. I don't know. I didn't know the difference at that age. Although this was the first animal I had that would have had the appendage, so I could tell the difference, but I didn't look. And he said, what are you gonna name the pet, son? As if I don't know. That's right, I'm gonna name him Lucky. And Lucky and I got along great. Problem was, Lucky was a puppy, and puppies are not house trained. And so Lucky peed all over the place, and my father couldn't take it anymore. And he ended up walking the dog and cleaning things up. And after 3 days of Lucky, again, that name didn't turn out to be the best choice for what occurred. And my father came into my bedroom one day, and I was sitting on the bed with Lucky. And my father said, Ron, we're going to have to, he called me Ronnie. Ronnie was my childhood name. I wasn't Ron, I was Ronnie. Then when I hit the age of 17, I even said to everybody, all right, that's enough with the Ronnie crap. I'm Ron. Okay, fine. Although I liked Ronnie. I spelled it R-O-N-Y, just to be different. And there you go. Father sat me on the bed. He sat next to me, and the dog was sitting between us. He said, wait, this is not working out. I'm going to take the dog back to the kennel. I called them. They're going to take it back. They're happy to do that. And you can visit Lucky anytime you want, Ron, because the kennel's only like 20 miles away. Okay, and I cried. And my father, it was a horrible experience for my father to leave the house with that dog in the car. It was horrible. It was, I think probably in that stage of my life, that was my first major loss. Not that the dog died, but it was taken away out of my care, which I didn't do apparently. And after few days, that was the end of that, and that was fine and dandy, and that was over. Later in life, I hooked up with this woman whom I still share my abode with, and she loves dogs. Man, she loves dogs, and I never liked human beings all that much. never had a reason to, they never gave me a reason really to love them that much. Humanity was started to grate on my nerves, to be honest with you. And I found great solitude in dogs and animals. And I, too, became very passionate about the dogs and the animals. For most of my life, I've had 3 dogs at a time. Now, one, but I've gone through that like decades and decades of dogs. Wonderful experience. Yeah, they break my heart when time is over. You know what I mean? So yeah, so she got me into that, and I spent my whole adult life with dogs, and they are more pleasurable. It's hard to play Scrabble with them. You do have to take care of them, but so do you have to take care of people. People need to be cared for constantly in different stages. You can't just know a person and say, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care about you. It's not right. That's not the deal. But with dogs, we seem to be able to connect a lot easier, a lot better, because I don't have to put up with their crap. Well, I do, but in a different way. I would rather put up with the physical crap than the mental crap, so to speak. Are there children in the room? I forgot to ask you to vacate. Sorry. Anyway, some of my favorite interviews to do on the radio show, and I just did one of those this morning, is with PETA. Not Peter, PETA. P-E-T-A. And they're prevention of cruelty to animals. They're fantastic people. When I talk to them, they get it. And it's not so much about the animals. It's about how humans treat the animals. Use the animals for experiments, abuse them, etc., showcase them like they're objects and not living things. It runs the gamut. So they get it. I feel very close to people that get it. Many times I sat down to write a book, and I am in the process now, but I'm always in the process. And the book's thesis always ends up being about humanity. How humanity always seems to let me down. Not people, but humanity. How there will always be evil in the world. And you can have a zillion good people, but if you have a couple of small groups of evil, bad people, they shall inherit. All through our history, everything is based on violence and wars and conflicts and hatred and anger. You're not like me, therefore you should be banished. It's phenomenal how somehow that human condition, the base of it, is destructive. We destroy our own planet. It's incredible the stupidity involved in humanity. And as we devolve, as we are at this time, you have to sit back in the chair and say, most of us are good people. Why don't we gather together, us good people? Why aren't we doing that? Well, it's because evil has a way of taking you in, because they know how to do that, you see. So my book always ends up being about the disappointment in humanity and in human beings. How they just, as hard as they may try, just don't seem to get it. Okay, I'm out of time for today. Whoa, Ron, you started like the happy, humorous guy, and you ended up being kind of dark. Yeah, that's life itself, right? I'll be back again next week with a brand new program. Hey, join me, Ron Van Dam Show. You can Google that thing, newenglandbroadcasting.com. We're on all of the platforms, some syndicated radio stations across the country. Do it every single weekday. Join me, will you, for that? But until that time arrives, I wish you peace.